Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Random Drop. This week I want to do something a little bit different. If you haven't been following along, over on the channel twitch.tv/BeastofVTuber, myself and my friend Bryce have been streaming Yakuza Like a Dragon. This footage is from that stream and I am making a summary video for the story of that game, as Infinite Wealth is coming out later this month in about a week or so. So for those of you who are wanting to catch up or wanting a refresher on this really intricate story that happened, that game was like 3 or 4 years ago now, right? So here is a story summary of the events of Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon. Do keep in mind that most of this footage is from our stream, so I did my best to crop the footage. You will see our heads poking on the bottom left and bottom right. They'll sort of clip in the frame every now and then, but for the most part from reviewing the footage, I did my best. If you are interested in actually watching the Let's Play, you can go over to twitch.tv/BeastofVTuber. The whole Let's Play is archived there for you to watch, and for the most part we stream in later afternoons Central Time, usually starting around 8 Central every other day, as we try to catch up for Infinite Wealth. So without further ado, here's my quick summary video of the first part of Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon.
Hey everybody, before we get started, I just wanted to say, if you enjoy our content and want to stay up to date with our videos, hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel. Thanks. So, on to the video.
The intro opens with a young man acting in a play that seems to be traveling from city to city. This is Masumi Arakawa. After the play, his father is murdered while eating at a restaurant. And then we cut to the year 2000. We meet our hero, Ichiban Kasuga. Ichiban was born in a soapland and abandoned by his mother, raised by the owner and the women working at the soapland. You learn he joined the Arakawa family solely on accident, as he was saved by their leader after getting into it with another family. He idolizes Arakawa and tried to follow his example. On the night of the new year, Ichiban was assigned to be Masato, Yasumi's son, bodyguard/escort. As Masato was born sickly and unable to walk, they went to their usual spot where Masato had a thing for one of the workers there. It was the hostess's birthday, so Masato wanted to make a big impression. He injected himself with an unknown drug before entering that gave him the ability to walk for a few hours. Then the duo entered the bar. That night, Masato and Ichiban discovered that the young woman was scared of Masato because of his spending habits and the ties to the Yakuza, and didn't truly love him. Hearing this, Masato disappears into the night, letting Ichiban know he needs some time alone. That same night, Masumi and Ichiban spend some time together around town for New Year's. This is where Masumi gives more info on Masato's condition and why he was born that way. Masato had organ failure due to being locked in a subway locker and being too cold, as his mother had to hide him from the Yakuza chasing her. Masumi clearly looks at Ichiban as a son as well, even mentions it so to him. The two spend the rest of the night together and ate at a local ramen stand, then split up for the night. Ichiban celebrates the new year by himself by drinking cheap gas station beer and passing out in the park. The morning of, his wallet is missing, and he was informed by a local police officer that there was a murder in the area and that he should go home. When he arrives to the office, it is revealed that the Arakawa's family captain, Joe, murdered someone after this escalation last night. It was another Tojo clan family member and a higher up, so there would be heavy consequences for everyone. Joe could not take the fall. Ichiban offers himself to take the fall and be banished from the family, as he would make it seem he killed him unconnected to the Arakawa family. Ichiban feels as though he owes Masumi his life and gladly goes to prison for someone else for 20 years. In that time, Masumi promises to work his magic and reverse the banishment over time and smooth things over. And when he gets out, he will pick him up personally and they would rejoin. There was no one from the Arakawa family waiting for him on that day. This is where Ichiban meets Adachi, an ex-detective who has some ties to the murder 20 years ago. He has an issue with the current police commissioner and is trying to get dirt on him. As the two travel together, Adachi reveals to Ichiban that the Arakawa family betrayed the Tojo clan, and Masumi is now acting captain of the Omi Alliance, the rival faction to the Tojo clan. The Tojo clan is all but evaporated now. Not believing what he's hearing, or seeing, Ichiban confronts Masumi himself during an Omi Alliance meeting. He is shot by Masumi. Ichiban wakes up a couple days later in a homeless camp, saved by an ex-nurse named Nanba. He was found bleeding out and was told by the camp chief to save him. With nowhere to go and believing he was betrayed by Masumi, Ichiban focuses on getting back up on his feet, trying to earn money and get a job. During this, Ichiban finds a counterfeit bill in his pocket, which was clearly placed on him after the shooting. He has no idea what it means, but decides to hold onto the bill. Nanba follows Ichiban to try and get their life back together. Eventually, they find a bodyguard gig for a bar to protect it from a local gang, the Gomijul, one of the three powers in Ichinjo. Gomijul are the Korean mafia, focused on surveillance and secrecy. The Lu Mang are the Chinese mafia that were expelled out of Chinatown. And then there was a Syria clan, a local Yakuza family. These three have been in a sort of Cold War state for many years. No other gangs have invaded Ichinjo in fear of getting the wrath of all three gangs. This is called the Wall of Muscle, and it is what keeps the peace in Ichinjo. Ichiban and Nanba successfully ward off a Gomijul thug and are rewarded by a local resident with a place to stay. A small brothel disguised as a restaurant that the two could stay at to ward off local protesters and to clean up the place. After spending the night in their new home, Adachi tracked down Ichiban again. He lost his job at the DMV due to getting his nose into things he shouldn't have. So he joins the party and the trio go out looking for new work. This is where they are assigned to work at a local soap plant. The owner's name is Nanamiya. He seems like a real dickhead at first, but it is a front he is putting on partially. He does care about the people who work for him, and currently his top employee has been missing for a few weeks, and he wants the party to investigate it. Nanoha is her name, and she was working at the soap land to pay for her father's health condition. From what the party can gather, she is being taken advantage of by a local retirement home, as she has to pay a ton of money for her father's care and is not able to visit him. The team is eventually able to infiltrate the retirement home by posing as workers, and it is revealed that on the top floor, after a certain amount of time, the home is killing residents and collecting money from their families. For Nanoha, they posed to her as if the resident needed an operation and collected even more money from her. The operation happens and the resident passes away. Infuriated by this, Ichiban and the team find out it's being run by a local Yakuza family. Disgusted by their dishonorable actions, Ichiban confronts the manager and threatens to tell his family patriarch. This clearly gets to him, and he tries to stop Ichiban. Unsuccessfully, as Ichiban gets through to the patriarch and reveals his nasty scheme. This scheme was never passed through the patriarch, and he disapproves of it. He banishes the Yakuza member and closes down the retirement home. The money is returned to Nanoha, as he lets her know the home is closing down and under new management. Before that though, the counterfeit bill was found on Ichiban's person. It is clear that the patriarch knows something about it, but decides not to mention anything in the moment. Then, the team returns to the soapland to tell their boss the good news, but they find Nanamiya lynched in his office. During Nanamiya's funeral, the party is approached by Saiko, a hostess at one of Nanamiya's bars, and Nanoha's twin sister. She was estranged from her family and had no idea her sister was in trouble, and thanks the party for helping her sister. During the conversation, she mentioned she knows Nanamiya did not commit suicide, as she heard his office get invaded over the phone. Nanamiya called Saiko to tell her about her sister's situation, and during the call, Nanamiya was attacked. The attackers were speaking Chinese, yelling, "Lao Ma." Lao Ma is a local crime lord, part of the Lu Man, one of the other rival gangs in Ichinjo. Upset by the murder of their boss and friend, they promise Saiko to avenge Nanamiya and find his killer. Saiko joins the party. After many twists and turns and gathering info, the team ends up at a warehouse that Lao Ma owns that is importing goods for local Chinese restaurants. It is revealed that the company is counterfeiting Chinese currency and paying for the shipping of goods front in cash. This lets them buy the goods for basically nothing and reselling to the local restaurants for insane profits. The team finds out about this secret and tries to steal a counterfeit bill so that they have leverage against Lao Ma, now known as Mabuchi, which is his real name. In the process, they get caught and the situation escalates. A fight breaks out and the warehouse is burned to the ground on accident, and the team is captured. The team wakes up in a makeshift holding cell. Mabuchi is there and reveals to them that he indeed murdered Nanamiya to provoke an attack from the serial clan, as he wants to start a war between the three gangs. Using some clever editing and baiting Ichiban, he is able to convince the Lumang that the serial clan attacked the Lumang warehouse unprovoked. Mabuchi simply killed Nanamiya, hoping to get a spark going, and for no other reason. The team fell for his plan. He had killed other people in the past, but nothing ever came of it, until now. Mabuchi leaves the party to be executed, but they are saved by a white-haired man. The team breaks free and escapes the Lumang underground base. While the party was escaping, Mabuchi and the Lumang gunned down 2 young Yakuza members in cold blood as retaliation. This incites the serial clan to invade the Lumang territory, and a war breaks out. Ichiban and the gang reach the serial captain before he assaulted their main headquarters and stops any more bloodshed. The Lumang leader steps out and threatens to have them all killed. Ichiban pleads his case and tries to convince him that they are all being played by Mabuchi. Zhao is his name, and he is the Lumang leader, wants proof, and threatens to kill the captain. He will hold him hostage until their return. Zhao recommends that they talk to the Gomi Jewel, as they deal with information, and if anyone knows or has proof, it is them. The team head to the Gomi Jewel headquarters, and the Gomi Jewel are, for the most part, accommodating, as they let the team enter their base. June, the man who saved them earlier, shows footage they collected on Mabuchi and have proof of Nanomiya's murder. The team are ecstatic, but June said he has one last thing to show them and takes them to the next room. In the room is a large printer, printing counterfeit yen. The Gomi Jewel were being accommodating because they wanted to entrap Ichiban and get more info on why he had a bill in his possession. Ichiban pleads his case that he knows nothing about the counterfeiting, and they eventually believe him, as they have been monitoring him this whole time since entering Ichinjo. But there was also another reason they brought the team in. They reveal that Nanba has been spying on the Gomi Jewel for many months and was lying about who he was. Nanba's brother went missing months ago after he was about to publish a story on a possible counterfeiting operation. After he went missing, Nanba stayed at a nearby homeless camp to try and gather info and find his brother. He had no luck until Ichiban showed up with his fake bill, and Nanba has stuck to Ichiban since, hoping to eventually get another connection. Nanba had been using the party the whole time for his own end. The Gomi Jewel tried to take Nanba away, but Ichiban and company defend him, telling them to get their hands off their friend. A fight breaks out, and the party helps Nanba escape. After some time, the fighting gets calmed down by the Gomi Jewel leader, and she tells Ichiban to meet her at a certain place and time, and to also try and bring Nanba in, as they've already sent assassins to silence him, as he knows too much. The party fails to find Nanba before the meeting. During the meeting, Big Three leaders are in a room and explain what is going on. The counterfeiting operation is run by all 3 houses in secret. The Lumang get the material for the fake bills, the Gomi Jewel prints, and the serial clan distributes. It was a trade set up by the local politician Ogikubo to stop the fighting and keep power in check in Ichinjo. This also provided a place for the Gomi Jewel and the Lumang to live in peace. Nanba revealing this secret will unravel everything, as their men have been told a false tale, destroying trust and the wall of muscle, as factions will arise and coups will happen. In the meeting, it is revealed the Seryu leader knows where the bill came from, but will only tell Ichiban if they bring in Nanba. If they do not, he will most likely be killed, as assassins will hunt him down non-stop. The team heads out to find him and find him hiding in the Bleach Japan offices. This is a countrywide organization that is trying to get rid of shady gray zones like brothels and soaplands. Basically an organization to try to make Japan pure and white in morals and operation. Nanba headed to them so he could spill the beans and get the word out on the counterfeit operation. The owner of Bleach Japan is ecstatic to hear the news, as he has been trying to get dirt on the local politician Okikubo for a long time. It is also revealed that Mabuchi is working for the same man. Bleach Japan has ties to the Omi Alliance, and has been trying to use its influence to bring down the Ishijin 3 this whole time. This information is enough, and a full-scale Omi invasion is going to happen because of this. Mabuchi was promised a spot in the Omi alliance, making a new family for his work. It was Bleach Japan that ordered Mabuchi to stir the pot, in doing so, leading to the death of Nanomiya. After a confrontation with Mabuchi, the Bleach Japan leader escapes with Nanba. Ichiban investigates their office and sees a picture of the previous owner of Bleach Japan, the governor of Tokyo, known as Ryo Aoki, but was actually Masato Arakawa.